I'm Kayla Dollhouse. I attend Shippensburg University and I did the Culture and Language Exploration in Costa Rica program.
Why did you choose CIS abroad?
I chose CIS because when I was looking, I looked at like a bunch of different providers, but like the program that I ended up doing caught my eye because it had like a large range of classes that I was interested in and that applied to my program of study. And it was a good price point for me and included a lot of like features that I wanted, like the excursions. It was kind of the time frame that I was looking for, so like about a month. And I really wanted to study Spanish.
What factors influence your decision to select this program?
Other than the ones I just mentioned, I really wanted to do like a homestay, and I really want, like I said, I wanted to be in a Spanish speaking country, so that was like a very big point for me because I have like a concentration in Latin America and the Caribbean, so that was like really important for me.
Can you give some tips on surviving the first 2 weeks on site?
Main tip would be to like just do a lot of research before going. Like before I went, I researched like social etiquette, climate, like the foods that they eat, just stuff like that. So when I got there, I wasn't like super shocked. Like I knew what to expect, and I think that helped me a lot. And then once I got there, I kind of had to like put myself out of my comfort zone because I can be like a little introverted. So, but like when you're there, there's so many people to meet right away. So like I would just say to like really try to push yourself to do that.
What was your favorite class and why?
Favorite class was environmental impact and social development because I'm a sociology major, so it kind of like really aligned with my major because we offer a environmental sociology class in my university. But it also like I'm interested in the environment, but I'm not super science brained. So like it was kind of a good mix for me with that where I could like learn about the environment, but in a way that kind of like makes more sense to me. And I liked it because like it talked about what we can do and like what like specific countries are doing to like improve the environment and stuff. So I thought that was really interesting.
How were your classes compared to classes in the US?
Other thing that I feel like was different in Costa Rica was that it was very presentation based. Like I do presentations at my home university, but like when I was abroad, it was like every week I had at least one, maybe two presentations. We didn't really take like tests at all. And but we did a lot of presentations, but they were very brief. So like they were like kind of quick.
Can you tell us more about your housing and commute to school?
For housing, I stayed in a homestay and I was with five other girls, which was it was one of the biggest like homestays in our program. But we lived with our mama Tika Kathy. So we only had one. It wasn't like a family, it was just like one woman, but she had family that lived nearby. So we would like interact with them because they would come visit, since Costa Rica is like very family oriented. So it was just the six of us and then our mama Tika, but it was awesome. I loved being in the homestay. I was a little nervous at first, but it ended up being great and like Kathy was amazing. And we got breakfast and dinner every day, which was awesome. So we didn't have to like spend all of our money just worrying about like feeding ourselves. And then for the commute, it was like a 10-minute walk to the university, just down like this main road. And there was like a bunch of restaurants and like convenience stores and like little cafes on the way to school, which was nice because we could stop and get lunch on the way there, on the way back. And it was like pretty easy. I mean, the traffic in Costa Rica is a little wild. Sometimes they don't really have like crosswalks and stuff, but it was pretty easy for the most part.
What was your favorite part of your program?
I thought the excursions were my favorite part because we had two included and then we had two that we could pick from. But I also had a trip included in one of my classes, which was also kind of like included. So I actually got to go on three through the program that like I didn't have to pay extra for, which was really nice. And since we were in San Jose during the week, it was really nice to be able to explore like other parts of Costa Rica, like kind of farther away, like the beaches and more of the like ecotourism stuff, because like that's not really in San Jose. And the professors were also super cool because they wouldn't really give us homework on the weekends, so we could like actually enjoy our excursions and not have to worry about like getting our schoolwork done. So that was nice.
What was your favorite excursion?
My favorite was our trip to Puerto Viejo, which is like a small town on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. And that was an optional one that we did, but I really enjoyed it because I'm like Jamaican, so it was really cool to see like Caribbean culture, but in Costa Rica. And like I really like the food was amazing. It reminded me a lot of like my Jamaican side of the family, so that was a lot of fun. And the beaches there were beautiful. There was a lot of like cool shops and stuff to go and see. And we got to tour like a national park, so there was just like a lot of stuff in that weekend, and it was super fun. So
How did your on-site director impact your time abroad?
my on-site director was Lisa, and she was amazing. She was so nice, and she was super helpful, and she really cared about like how we were doing. She would like check in on us throughout the weeks. Like sometimes she would just text us and see how we were doing. Or when we would go on excursions, she was great at like showing us around and kind of giving us like little tips and stuff so that we stayed safe. So I really appreciated that because, you know, sometimes it's like a little nerve-wracking because you're in a country that you don't know and like, I don't know. So she was like awesome in that sense. And she was always trying to work with us, like with the optional excursion. She would include things or take things out depending on how much money like we were willing to pay for an optional excursion. So that was super nice because she really wanted us to be able to explore, but she also wanted it like to be affordable for us. So that was really cool.
Can you share tips on transitioning from being on-site to coming back home?
I didn't think like when I came back home, I didn't think that I had like a hard time adjusting, but I think maybe partially like I don't know, it was like bittersweet because I was ready to go home, but I also like kind of missed Costa Rica like right when I got back. I guess the main thing that was kind of hard for me was like because I was used to like using my Spanish skills while I was there. So like I would order things in Spanish or I would try to talk to people in Spanish. So when I came back, I remember I went to like a coffee shop and my housemates and I would go to coffee shops like all the time in Costa Rica. And so I went to a coffee shop at home and I like almost like started to order in Spanish and I had to like stop myself. I was like, wait, like I'm back in the States now. I don't need to order in Spanish anymore. So like that was kind of like just like a little thing, but I didn't think I had that hard of a time adjusting back though.
What surprised you about your time abroad?
Since I did like a lot of research before going and I like also study like Latin American countries and culture and stuff, I wasn't super shocked by like a lot of stuff or surprised. I mean, I went in with like a very open mind, so I was kind of open to like a lot of different things. But one thing I like didn't really expect, which I feel like a lot of people I've heard a lot of people say this, but obviously we're going there to study abroad, but we I don't think we're really thinking about the fact that we're actually going to have to study while we're there. So like sometimes during the week I'd be like, wow, I have like a lot of work to do. Like I didn't think I was going to have this much work to do. But and it's not even that it's really hard, but you know, you're in a new country and you want to like explore and you're like, oh, but I have to do these assignments. So like just like keeping in mind that you are going to have to, you know, do your assignments and stuff and do your presentations, you know, study a little bit of your Spanish obviously because you're if you're doing a language. But yeah, so that was kind of something that I had to adjust to right away because I was like, wow, I actually have to do school. But yeah, other than that, I think researching a lot and just being open-minded helped me a lot with like culture shock and stuff.